zig and zag and whatever. We were lucky we went out in the right order. But much less did everybody get their stuff in. I mean.
Somebody that asked this question, I want to get your thoughts, guys, on this. D'Angelo, Drew McIntyre was mad about LA Knight being in the way. Does Gagne or Magnum have an experience like that? So I'll explain if you guys are unaware. There's reports that Drew McIntyre was a little upset after the match because somebody got a lot of their shit in, quote unquote, and took a lot of the spotlight. And if you go back and watch the footage, you'll see that LA Knight and Logan Paul were kind of in the center of the ring there.
Oh, yeah.
LA Knight was like working with them. And then Damian Priest, there was a moment. So Damian Priest eliminates Drew McIntyre. Big storytelling moment there. And those guys were in the way. And so the reports are that Drew was upset about it. Cooler heads prevailed about it. But a lot of other people seem to be a little bit upset about that. If you guys kind of ran into an instance where, like, hey, you kind of took away from the moment of what we're trying to do here.
I think it's funny because
I do too.
They've got everything like the dance, like so laid out, and they do some remarkable things, and they're able to do some remarkable storytelling. But like that was never ever a thought. You might have some spots, but to have everybody in that ring on the same sheet of music at the same time to zig and zag and whatever. We were lucky we went out in the right order. But much less did everybody get their stuff in. I mean, it's like I think they're so used to making movies, and everybody the plot all being so good, and the drama and the anticipation. Oh gosh, this happened here because of that. I'm sure in the emotion of it and in the execution of it, it probably is very disappointing to somebody that's passionate about what they're doing, because they want everything to mean something. And particularly, of course, personally, if your character, the one that got slighted or didn't get the same time. But frankly, it's amazing they pull all of that off. You think about that this whole thing goes on for an hour, and they got all these people interjected in and out, and all the things that went along with that. I mean, producing that match in today's stylization, I can't imagine how much work they put in that.
Yeah, I know it's an intricate process. It comes to that kind of stuff. I know for sure. Greg, do you have any thoughts on that?
I just think I don't think Drew was personally hurt by it. I think he just sold it good.
Yeah,
to open up conversations like we're having.
Yeah, yeah.
And now everybody's going, well, what's going to happen with Drew? He's really mad. Well, they're buying it. So they can really kind of go anywhere with it now with that group.
It's a great perspective too. Yeah, Drew's been very good at blurring the lines throughout this stuff. So he's that's definitely his MO a lot of the time. So it'll be interesting. I know too, just from the outsider perspective, like when I saw Battle Royal get laid out backstage at a show, it was like they would take those moments. Okay, make sure you clear out of the center because this moment's going to happen at this point. But that was only with 15 people. That's not with 30 people getting involved and everything like that. So it's just a different kind of thing. There's moments that, okay, a wrestler is aware that you got to be in the corner, you got to be out of the way, but at the same time,
we never laid anything out.
No, hey, there you go.
Did you, TA?
Did what?
For like Battle Royal stuff?
Wake him up.
I just knew when I was supposed to go out, and outside of that, some of my funny moments when I was in Florida Championship Wrestling, when Bruiser and Stan came in, everybody was terrified of them, and I knew Brody from Texas, and we had become like buds, and I didn't look at him like this big crazy person like everybody else did, and here I'm the newbie. I'm the guy who's been in the business a year, and they won't let anybody throw him out of the ring but me. He says, he comes up to me, he says, "Toss me out here, kid." I said, "Okay." and that's in the same building that he took Lex Luger around and gave him a lesson in humility.
How
So,
about that?
so I mean, it just is your attitude and your outlook and everything is so important with the people you work with in the business in general. And it's not just being the toughest guy or being the funniest guy or whatever. It's just being somebody that can can appreciate the differences in all these crazy characters and people that make up this world of wrestling. And you've got to be a unique character to find your way through all that. There's been a lot of people that have had some great success and could have been even more successful if they could figure out how to navigate the real ins and outs of what goes on, because as much of a work as it is inside the ring, there's a lot of times the work outside the ring was equally, or if not more important to your success.
Yeah.
Because people can either make you look great, or they can not put out quite so much effort to shine you, and it will eventually hurt your career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's better to embrace the adventure and give it all you got and try not to ruffle everybody's feathers.
And sometimes too, the stories and the elements and the drama that goes on behind the scenes is more entertaining than the drama in front of on the screen sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It just more stuff than they would ever be able to tell on the dark side of the ring or any, it's like, weren't they kind of doing that with the territories when they did that little series and
These are the territories or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they can do a whole lot more of that, because there's just a lot more entertaining things to share and people probably really enjoy.
They should definitely do that, I think, again too. As far as anything else goes, guys, if you like what you're seeing, like I said earlier in the show, if you're tuning in to OneTrueSportTV.com or FourHorsemenNetwork.com, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and get the word out about this show a little bit too. We're also available on podcasts. Just yesterday, I posted last week's episode on the podcast feed. You can check it out. Go to Four Horsemen Network on your podcast feed of choice. This show pops up, and so does Arn Anderson's show. So we're both on the same feed there. So be sure to subscribe, give us 5 stars, and share out what you think about the show. As far as anything else goes, be sure to check out Powertown if you want to check out, bookmark that page for further updates and stuff like that. Magnum, look at this. Look at this. It is the Rem. Yay. Oh, man. Badass. Look at that.
And just so y'all know,
That's Sid Vicious.
I had one upset fellow on the hit me up on Instagram or something. So at least you got yours. Well, we had 2 sets flown in.
Uh-huh.
One for Steve, my partner, and myself, and basically so we could do a quality check and make sure everything was what it's supposed to be. But they are all en route, and good Lord willing, they'll all be delivered to the people that have been so patiently waiting here towards the end of the month, and they're coming. And the thing has come. These have come out so good. I really couldn't imagine anything being on a par with the ultras, but the head sculpts on these came out phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. All of them, Ricky and Robert and just the whole gang. The missing link. If you didn't get a missing link, that is probably one of the coolest Remcos of all time.
Yeah, awesome stuff. It looks great. They look beautiful. The packaging looks awesome too. So it's a really well produced product, and it'll come that moment where you guys will get those here soon enough. So
now I know most of our fans that watch this are all present day wrestling. Yes. But if any of them go back to the 50s and tell us who they would like to see as an action figure.
There you go. Yeah,
Hard-boiled Haggerty. Yukon Eric, Don Leo Jonathan, Wilbur Snyder, Dick the Bruiser, the Crusher. Tell us who you would like to see come out on an action figure. We've got them all signed.
There we go. Yeah, we'll make a little post here too on the channel too to kind of get a poll going maybe and
start a petition. And if you get 1,000 signatures for any one person, that'll be a real strong indicator of somebody that we need to move to the front of the line.
Yeah, there we go. That's good.
Here's a quick one, because people don't know the guys from the 50s that built this. Hardboiled Haggerty. Not only did he wrestle, he starred in Paint Your Wagon.
Oh, really?
You know that? No, he was the
that's a movie.
blacksmith there.
That's a movie from back in the day.
Yeah, I remember Clint Eastwood's in it. It's a musical, right?
Yeah.
Singing.
He was
Clint Eastwood was singing.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So we were gonna.
I went to see it
when I was thinking, and I talked to his family, you know, maybe we should put him in the outfit that he wore in Paint Your Wagon, and he had a pipe. Yeah, he had a big part in there too.
How about that?
He had a couple movies he had big parts in. You know, and Don Leo Jonathan was the first big man. You know, 6'7", 280 pounds, and he was doing flying head scissors and drop kicks. He was an unbelievable athlete.
Yeah.
You know, those are the people we're trying to recognize, you know, in the Powertown, the people that built this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So for the people out there watching, get out your history books and look back and see what you think about some of these people.
That's it. You got to take a gander. And yeah, weigh in. Definitely voice your opinion too if you want to see an old school legend like that in the mix here too. So
and I was very fortunate to get a partner on board like TA.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He's done
Magnum, did you see Paint Your Wagon in theater?
He's working his butt
Yeah,
off.
I went to see Paint Your Wagon in the theater with my mom and dad, and remember it vividly. So,
that was a great movie.
You know, I was a kid. Now Greg was already, you know, probably a quarterback in college. But when I was
probably past that. I'm a lot older than you.
Well, it's just 10 years, but 10 years back then seemed like a long time.
Well, guys, yes, if you want to support Greg and Magnum as well, you can get some good merchandise we have available too.
I'm going to ask TA about that merchandise. TA, the posters I sent you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I've got it put in a safe place until I get it framed.
That's me too.
God.
That's what I.
But
I was thinking, you know, Vernal, he signed 50 before he passed away. And I think maybe we got 20, 25 left that were signed. But I have a couple hundred more of them without the signature on it. Ooh. Plus the poster from the AWA, when the AWA, you know, came in along with the NWA, the history of it.
Yeah, the history of the champions you have on there. Yeah.
Right. Maybe we should try to open up sell some here.
Yeah, we could try to do that.
I think we should do a raffle for one of those signed ones of your dad is what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to talk about that because that would be very cool. Very cool thing for somebody to have, and it's not something they can run out and just buy somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right.
That would be special.
That'd definitely be big time.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked them.
Yes, great stuff.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm. Guys, and if you guys want to help support the show, get some merchandise. We got a Greg Gagne hoodie, High Flyer, both in dark blue and in black. You can get a Greg Gagne mug and plus plenty of other merch. You can scan that QR code or go to 1tsport.com. And get your own, like Magnum TA, a hoodie too, with the classic logo. You got the Boss mug coming up here too. And there's some T-shirts. We got some more merch I've got rolling around in the noggin I want to make for these guys too. So we'll get that cooking as well. So 1tsport.com and get some merch going. But
it's good to be back.